Okay, and welcome to my channel, Stuff About Stuff, where I talk about stuff in my opinion. And today's episode... Steve!
This is my big entrance.
This is big entrance. Dun 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 dun. Welcome to my humble set.
So this is like I'm actually having like comedians having coffee in cars. I'm actually having a coffee. We're in a car. It's like we're not driving anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
Who does comedians with coffees in cars? Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah,
that's who does it.
Yeah, it's like Tonight Live with Jerry Seinfeld, only
in a car.
In a car. Stuff about stuff. So this is Steve. We all know Steve Hughes. So
well, not everybody.
Well, a lot of people do, and if you don't, I
think there's about 7 left on the planet. I don't know.
There's 7 left. I thought there was only 7 left. 7 Steve Hughes left.
No. There's
only one.
About 7 people left that don't want to jump on board. Feminists, I think.
Fair. There's only one Steve Hughes left. All right, we're smoking because this is a.
It's a non-smoking car.
It's a non-smoking official smoking car.
We're here to talk health. On Stuff About Stuff.
We're here to talk health on Stuff About Stuff. Actually, we want to talk about a few things. You know, I don't want to talk about your political views because we already know what they are.
That's what comedy's for.
Yeah, it's what comedy's for. It's what the stage is for. I want to learn more about who Steve Hughes is.
Oh, no, you don't.
Well, you know, as the side that we should know.
Yeah.
If there is a side that we should know.
You don't want to know about the dark scorpionic side.
And the 5 Scorpio.
Yeah, 5 Scorpio planet perverted side.
5 stars in Scorpio. I've actually got about 5 or 6 myself, funnily enough. Ooh. I've had my star done. I've got 5 stars in Scorpio. My sun, my moon, my rising. Pretty similar.
Right.
Maybe how we've become friends.
So we can walk around leaving peasants trampled underfoot as they scream beneath the majesty of our scorpionic death.
Lyrics from his new song.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, bebop me, meet me at the party, man. I'm behind the velvet rope. Fuck you.
Coming on Fox FM next week.
Yeah, God.
Okay, so Steve, let's talk about your comedy, and you know, like obviously a pretty, exciting, industry. Like, how do you? Let's start with, how do you remember everything? How does a comedian remember what you know?
I don't know. It's easy for me. I can't remember how, like you've tried to show me how to use a computer. I can't remember when they go, you just go over to this bar and you press this icon and then I go, yeah, okay.
We'll let somebody else do that.
I'll try and learn.
It's true.
But then when you go, can you remember this hour and a half as a comedy? I go, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you do it, because I've always wanted to do comedy and come up with funny ideas, and I think, what if I get up there and just freeze and forget what I need to say next, and you fucking suck. Yeah, and the nerves and the but obviously you just get through it and you learn how to do it, and you don't even think about that.
I was in bands for years. I've been on stage since I was 16, so I find it more comfortable than just the general population.
The normal life. than being off stage. It's like those guys, when you watch the guys, the parkour guys that run around the building tops on the edge, and you think, how can they ever get that confidence? That's what it's like for somebody who doesn't do comedy. I mean, it's not just I can stand on a stage and talk.
Oh, well, they probably wonder how I could do that, but yeah, I'm amazed at those BMX guys, or those people on bikes, motorbikes, or those guys that jump around walls, and they just go, yeah, man, what's the first time you go, I'm going to get my skateboard and ride it off this building?
Yeah.
Have you done this before? No.
Yeah. Well,
how are you going to practice this? I'll ride it off the building, I guess.
We'll start down this hill first.
I'm sure they do a few little jumps and so forth, but still, it doesn't matter how many little jumps you do. At the end of the day, the guy goes, do you want to jump off the top of the car park? You go, fuck.
Yeah, maybe they do it, like, I think, probably like yourself, when you think of that when you're a kid, it's not so daunting, and you just think, maybe I can do it one day, and you don't think about the process, so you just think I'm going to do it one day, and then as you get older, you just flow into it. But doing what, the parkour guys, what you do is for me, is like pretty ballsy, but the parkour guys is like, if you fuck up, you just get booed off stage. If they fuck up, they die.
Yeah, I know, which is so funny that they would actually, I watched this guy who used to do base jumping or something get interviewed on Graham Norton, a gay Irish guy that does comedy.
The Norton Show, Graham Norton Show. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, Graham Norton's a funny guy. So, but this guy's going, how do you get up there and make people laugh? I don't know how you can do such scary things. So he's going, you jump off fucking mountains. It's like, oh yeah, I know, but I imagine being on stage and like no one like. Yeah, but I used to think, but no. Believe me, I've had audiences which hate my guts, and you can still walk off laughing.
Yeah, well, I've seen you.
But if the mountain decides to hate your guts, when you jump off it,
you're pretty fucked. Yeah.
You'd be like the bimbo off Seinfeld.
Yeah. Which bimbo?
The bimbo that Elaine wants to go out with. He's a bimbo. He's a male bimbo. He's a mimbo. He's a mimbo.
He's a mimbo.
And then they go out and George and Kramer go mountain climbing with him. He's one of those rugged guys, and George wants to be his friend and makes him sandwiches, but doesn't tie the ropes right, and there he falls off and smashes his face. Then Elaine's upset because he's so good looking and is his face intact, and he's got this,
She's just worried about his face.
Did the doctor say anything like permanent damage? Or...
She can be a bit of a cold-hearted bitch.
It's funny. Seinfeld's all about that. But so, yeah, and.
Anyway, so you just get used to it. You're good at. Do you have a procedure before you go? Do you do?
Yeah, leave Australia.
No. Before you get on stage, is it? Do you go into? Do you psych up? Do you even need to psych up, or do you just know your stuff? You get up, and you tell us about the experience of a gig. Well,
if I know what I'm doing, it's pretty easy, and it's just a gig. It's just a gig. If it's a big gig and it's maybe you haven't got the complete show in your head, or a big gig, you're still nervous, you still got some nerves, you've got to have some nerves, it's just, some respect for the audience, And then, and if they're filming it, then you kind of got to try and block that out altogether.
Yeah, right. So do you get nervous at that or not even? Or you just not that you're nervous, it's just that you want to make it right for the cameras and you want to make it one of your better shows?
Well, you just don't know, you just don't want to think about the cameras, so you just think, just do the gig, just do a gig.
Just ignore it. Just like we're doing here. Like, is there a camera?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, fuck. Didn't even notice. So, how long does it take to write it?
Oh, I don't know. If I'm on the road, I write quicker. If I'm sitting around not doing shows, I don't really write comedy. I come up with things and I think are funny on the spot sometimes, and I go, and I write it down, and that'll turn into a joke. Or sometimes jokes just bang, got it. Other times I got the idea, like some of those ideas I loaded this morning, which could be a little provocative.
That'd be a first time for you, though. So you should give it a go.
Yeah.
Provocateur.
Yeah, provocative, controversial. What a load of rubbish.
Which, well, that's the interesting thing about comedy. I don't want to go too far down that route. I mean, we've talked about it all before.
Yeah. Some people get offended.
But let's stick to comedy. Like, there's a lot of comedians out there that want to learn about comedy and performing, and what makes good comedy?
Oh, but people laughing.
Well, but what makes a good what makes a good comedian? What's the difference between a good comedian and a bad comedian? Is it timing?
Well, people laughing.
Is it jokes?
If you want to get down to the nitty gritty of the whole base of it.
If they're laughing, it's good.
It's like a young comedian came up to you once and goes, how do you know if you're funny? I went, you'll know.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that, son. You'll know if you're funny.
Yeah, well. I know, but I don't know, like, yeah.
Well, if you want to get into the intricacies of technique and style and
what should you focus on then? Like, if you want to be a good comedian, what should you focus on?
Well, when you start being funny, are you funny? Can you make people laugh? Why are you doing comedy? Are you funny? See, people get into it for different reasons, so I can't tell anybody specifically. I got into it because I'm funny. I'm funny.
Were you funny?
But I'm serious. I was a musician, so I'm serious. I like dramatic, serious things. I like creating art of serious things, but I'm just a kind of funny guy. I've got this weird, so I can make people laugh. I'm a kind of neurotic, serious guy, but I'm funny. So I can use the funny sometimes to ward away anybody getting too emotional. Old school, old classic defense mechanism. So, but it just kind of So I just grew up going, yeah, I can make people laugh. I can do impersonations and people laugh. I do funny things. I do stupid dances. People laugh. Even if I try to dance properly, people laugh.
Yeah.
Unless I'm on pills and I'm around gay guys, then I'm quite good at it. They kind of like it. But
Well, how old were you when you morphed into comedy? Like, were you doing it from like 50? Like I heard about Eddie Murphy the other day. He was doing it from 50. His mum was taking him to gigs at 15.
I wasn't even interested. I was in bands. That's all I was interested in. But we used to watch Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor and stuff in the 80s. And so I liked Billy Connolly. And so I like it. And I knew it was funny. We listened to, what's his name? The old black fella.
Richard Pryor?
No, the other one. Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
So we listened to his records. And we listened to Slayer records and Bill Cosby records. And it was just funny. And then I was in bands.
How old were you when you got into comedy?
Oh, 27, something like that.
Oh, so it was considerably late.
Oh, yeah.
For how far you've gone.
Yeah, so it was bands for the folks.
So Johnny Depp was like that. Apparently Johnny Depp was right into, being in bands, and he ended up being in movies. It's the same thing, eh? I guess. I mean, you were in bands, I guess, for all that time. How old were you when you were in your first band?
15. Something like that.
Always the drummer, or were you a guitarist as well?
No, drummer.
Just drummer.
Yeah, and then just did bands, and then I thought of, right, they kept breaking up, and fucking hard to do bands, and then especially in Australia, any art's hard in Australia, so I won't get into that.
And you were also talking about, before we were talking about how, like if you had 4 of you in a band, it's easy because you can all commit to the rehearsals.
It wouldn't be easy. That was my kind of my tyrannical viewpoint, whereas I've always been quite driven, so I was always, I've never been a guy that's, do we have to go to band practice? I was like, can't we all live in a house together and just go to band practice every day in the lounge room? Instead, so we turn into this ultimate killing. So the band is every single fibre of our existence.
Did that ever happen?
No. To a degree, I had good guys in bands. I didn't have shitheads in bands. Some of the guys, I didn't realise how good they were in bands until the bands broke up, and I thought, I'll just get some other guys, and realised, fuck, not everybody's as good as these guys.
Yeah.
You think, and not just, you might get a better guitarist, but are they good? Can they be in a band? Are they into it? I'm really into the stuff. I'm into music and stuff. And some of the guys I was in bands with, and then when I tried to make bands with other people, I realised, fuck, I thought everybody was as into it as us. They're not.
No. Well, some people are into it, but they're not into, they're into it, but they don't. Most people in the performance industry, and I say most because a lot of people want to be performers, and even though there's a lot of success ones out there, a lot of the people don't realise how much people rehearse and practice. I was saying it before, AC/DC weren't like picked up and then they thought, oh, let's rehearse. AC/DC were rehearsing their brains out and then they got picked up. It's not the other way around. A lot of people think...
well, do they? Why would you think that? Are you an idiot?
People, yeah, a lot of people don't think rehearsals are that important in any performing industry.
Oh, well, especially today with YouTube, where they just become YouTube stars and then they go and do live gigs and sell the whole thing out. And have you ever done be on stage? No. So why are you people paying to see this?
Yeah. How do you?
That's like me asking you to pay to come and watch me play tennis.
But you watched a few YouTube videos. You should be good at it by now.
I've spoken about tennis.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
This is a racket, everyone. This is a ball. You throw it up and you hit it. If you're lucky enough, you hit it. It goes over the net and someone hits it back. Anyway, I'll be playing this Saturday.
Come along.
Only $50. And you can come and watch me play. Me mate Darren. G'day.
That's all right. It's about $10 cheaper than the Australian Open.
I'll
come. Yeah. Actually, I think a lot of people would love to come watch Steve Hughes play tennis.
But they just laugh.
Yeah, well, so it's what we want to do when we come and see Steve Hughes.
I tried to play sport when I was at school and everybody laughed, but not in a comedic way.
Yeah.
In a kind of, I could end up on drugs way.
Or bashed.
Yeah. like, I could end up, if I was American and already been on ADHD medication since I was 6, I could commit a school shooting kind of way. Like fuck, I hate you people. I still have a little bit of the resonance of that in me.
Of hating.
I'll bet
sports.
No people.
The sports people.
No people.
Yeah.
But really, I'm a really nice guy.
Yeah, I don't see that. I see.
No, and I'm, and I don't like to see people suffering that. But there's also another part of me. I'll be honest. Is anybody honest out there and who's just got their heart in their sleeve, thinking I'm just a nice, moral person? Yeah, I am too. But I'm also. Sometimes I walk into parties and just think, God, I fucking hate all you people.
What am I doing?
You fucking dickhead, moron, fucking scumbag. My friend was telling me the other day, Gabrielle, she goes, oh, God, she goes, I've seen it on your face.
Yeah.
I go, it comes out that? She goes, oh, it's so thick. She said, I walked into parties with you and you just the look of hatred on your face.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've.
But that's my.
There's been
these people could be lovely.
I remember when we first, went out with you a couple of years ago, and you'd hang out. Yeah, you had depression, so, you'd come to a party and people go, "Is that the comedian?" I mean, like, trust me, when he gets on stage, he's going to make you laugh.
Yeah,
and you would. You'd go on stage, snap out of it. And it was funny. Then you get off stage and you go, "Fuck you all." It was gold. So, tell us about the depression. Let's go from there. Don't actually. I don't want to hear about the depression. Let's hear about, like, how did you get out of it? How do you stay off it?
I don't know.
Because I know you look after yourself a little bit now. He looks after himself a little bit now.
Still smoking.
Still smokes, but for the most part, he's super healthy.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Gets to the gym. Lately, he's been going twice a day.
Lemon juice and honey every morning. Warm lemon, good for the immune system.
Anybody think he was a hipster that lived in Brunswick?
Wouldn't you?
Except that
wore sunnies on overcast days and just, lounged around drinking his almond
latte.
It's not really an almond latte. It's just instant coffee. And
we only serve the best stuff on this show.
But yeah. I mean, I never was a complete scumbag, like people that just don't eat anything good, When you're young, you can kind of get away with it and shit.
When you're young, you can get away with anything. I don't eat any junk now, but when you're young, I just thought, who are these people that can't eat whatever they want and they put on weight? I mean...
Yeah, no, I never put on weight either. I just used to eat whatever the fuck, and it wasn't even a thought crossed my fucking mind.
Oh, yeah.
These are the things that you so take for granted, you don't know how lucky you are.
And I never got pimples. When I was 16, 17, all my mates were getting pimples. I think my parents counteracted it with so much olive oil and tomatoes and cucumber that I could eat the junk. But I mean, nowadays I can't. If I had a vegetarian burger from some place a couple of months ago and got a pimple the next day right there, and I'm way more sensitive to it as I'm older than when you're younger.
Well, this is fucking interesting stuff, hey folks. Pimples. Did you get pimples?
Pimples on, yeah. People care about.
I'd get them, but I haven't got them for years. But no, I eat. I eat well. I look after myself. I eat lots of spirulina and nuts and cacao nibs and turmeric. And we were discussing our turmeric black pepper fucking deals, concoctions this morning. Lots of cinnamon sometimes. Got to make sure it's the organic cinnamon, not the cassia cinnamon. It's got a certain element in it which is not as good for you if you take cassia cinnamon too much.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, there you go. And you go to the gym how often?
Twice a day if I can.
And are you bulking up? Or?
No, not really.
What's the goal?
Fix me battered body from the car accident.
But what happened in the car accident?
Just some kind of spinal issues. The nerves don't send messages to muscles as good as they used to, so they don't react when you work out. So it's kind of... Thank God I'm not in pain, though, so... A bit of, shitness, but no pain.
Tell us about the accident. So was it a bad accident? Was it?
I ran up the arse. I didn't even know anything went wrong. Rang up the arse of this taxi stand still. Pretty bad airbag deal. And then, it seemed to be all right. And then about weeks later, I go, where's my fucking shoulder muscle gone?
I swear to God, I had one here.
Yeah, didn't I have one? Didn't I fucking have two? One on each side? Where's that one gone? So now we deal with that. So that's what you do.
And so, what's your routine at the gym?
Well, I don't do normal routines because I can't. See, I think I've got to start to heal internal deep muscles which aren't getting affected. I learned a lot off this Czechoslovakian guy. He was very clever, knew a lot about the body and the physics of it, the way it operates in space, and the way the skeleton and the muscles and the nervous system all supposed to function. So, you know, you can push as many weights as you want if the nerves aren't fucking working, they're not fucking working, are they? So, I figured, well, you got to probably do a lot of mind work. Make the mind strong. And also, I think you can heal yourself with your mind. So you can read as many books about it as you want. If you don't do it, you don't fucking do it, do you? You can't prove it. So
yeah, well,
I can see as many people, you know, Joe, what's his name, that's on there telling us he healed his crippled back in 6 weeks by visualising 4 hours a day.
Joe Dispenza,
whatever his name is.
I've heard of him.
But he's never shown us a photograph of himself in a hospital, so, you know.
Look, one thing that's proven is, like, so the placebo effect is proven.
Oh,
so
the placebo effect, okay.
at the bare minimum, dosing yourself with the placebo effect of saying, yes, I can heal myself, subconsciously is going to, at least...
It's better than
most
being
likely,
a miserable bastard, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it might, more than that. Like, it's at least may push you in the right direction of self-healing with the placebo effect, let alone maybe scientific proof that we may find one day. I mean, we've already discovered...
I think it's going to get quite shamanic on its ass.
What is this conversation? In the next few...
On my body. I'll get quite shamanic on it.
You're getting shamanic on it? Yeah.
I'll just be my own shaman.
Well, we're getting...
Not that I'm going to claim to be a shaman. I've met real shamans, and believe me, that's you can no walk in the park to become one of those fellas.
What are you talking about? You can do a course online.
Yeah.
Shamans are us. I got a mate, he thinks he's a shaman. Yeah. I'm like, he's a legend, but you're not a shaman. Like, you're not a shaman. He's a legend, but you're not a shaman. He's like, I've said you want to be a shaman.
Yeah.
That you can do that.
It's a nice word. It looks good. S-H-A-M-A-N.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's really into it. He's really into the stuff, but you're still not a shaman.
I think you can be a sort of I'm a bit low-level shamanic on my own body and psychological space. But
more and more people are getting like that. Well, one of the things we're realising, Steve, you know, once upon a time we used to have an injury in our back and go, oh, let's get to that point and fix our injury. Now we know, well, maybe if you got a sore lower back, maybe it's this muscle in your thigh, your front thigh, maybe that's but it's getting even deeper than that. So what I'm thinking is to go, well, okay, well, maybe it's that, and it's a lack of nutrients and the way you're thinking.
Big
so
time.
it's so connected.
Yeah, big time.
You know, and they seem to know this 20,000 years ago, the Chinese.
Yeah. Well,
how do we not know it now? Like, did the Dark Ages, they get rid of it all, or what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. But they sort of went, oh, don't worry about it. You know, cholesterol's bad for you. You know, fat's bad. Sugar's all right. Get into it. There's terrorists in Iraq. And, take a home loan out.
Yeah, one day it's bad for you, the next day it's good for you.
Yeah, so, you know, there's lots of bullshit. So, of course they knew 10,000 years. Those Indian people didn't have all those food, those thousands of years of culture of Indian food, with all those spices in it, just because it tasted great.
Have you ever tasted turmeric?
They know what's going on.
Turmeric tastes like shit.
Yeah, they know what's going on, though. Get this, India. Whack it, India.
Yeah. All right, we turn it into a curry.
It's a bit... don't really like the taste. Don't give a fuck. Get it, India.
Snort that shit.
Yeah, that's what I sometimes with healthy shit. People go, oh, it doesn't taste good. Just guess.
Yeah. Well, look, I make these smoothies, and I keep promising my audience I'm going to make a show about smoothies, and the smoothies I make...
A show about smoothies?
Yeah, well, you know.
Am I going to be on it?
If you want, you can smoothies with Steve.
Just be smoothie.
You can just be smooth in the background.
Show about smoothies. Hi, I'm Steve. I'm a bit of a smoothie.
Smoothie. I can call it Steve, the smoothie, the Steve flavour.
Yeah.
Because you're so smooth.
Oh, cleaner than a freshly peeled banana.
A crisp green one.
I don't like that.
Anyway, tell us quickly. What's in 2 minutes? What's at your age of wisdom and everything you've gone through? 2 minutes. What's your philosophy in life?
Oh, goodness gracious me. Well, I guess it varies throughout different stages of your life, doesn't it? Whatever you're involved in. So if you'd asked me what my philosophy of life was when I was 17, I just would have gone, metal! Fucking metal!
Yeah.
And then...
I bet you would. You borderline do that now.
Because, you know, I'm telling we mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, I'm into it.
Yeah.
And you're into it. So now this era's life is like dealing with the personal subconscious demons of shit that lurk around your mind that I was hoping I could just avoid with workaholism and occasional hardcore drug binge.
So what should you do then? What's your philosophy then?
You look at your own demons, I guess. Stop trying to solve everything with something outside of yourself.
But that's it right there. Don't try to solve something with something outside of yourself.
Maybe find yourself a therapist that you can deal with. It's not just CBT, because trying to work out your own mind with your own mind, it's a bit of a hassle.
Yeah. My mind's fucked, but I'm going to figure out how to fix it, even though it's fucked.
I'm going to figure out how to deal with my own mind by how? Thinking.
I'll think my way out.
With whose mind? This one.
The broken one.
The broken one.
If I can just get it over the line.
So a good therapist, one that can sit back, like a good sound engineer who's making your album, that can look back objectively, who's not so involved in the music and get, that bit there? What if you drop those 2 bars and bring the singing in straight away after that intro? And then you go, that's fucking heaps better.
Thanks, mate. I'm too in it. Sometimes you're too in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've often, I've got 4 brothers, and one of my brothers, we're all pretty brutal with each other. Like, sometimes we just tell each other from the outside. We try to be nice about it. But, you're doing too much of this. You're not listening enough. Start listening. I'm being told that a few times, for example. But, yeah, it's always good to get an outside perspective when you're a little in it.
I mean, a lot of the stuff I still know today, I've known for decades. I just didn't do. You can intellectualise every kind of philosophy and spiritual idea you want. If you just intellectualise it and run around at parties sounding smart, then it's like being the guy who wants to join the Olympic swimming team but only went on Wednesdays and looked at the pool, or even if he went every day but didn't get in the pool, just looked at the pool. Can I join the team? Well, have you been swimming? No, not yet, but I've fucking looked at that pool a lot.
Well, that's what I'm like with stand-up comedy. I'm not going swimming in stand-up comedy. But I look at a lot of stand-up comedians and I love it, but I'm not getting swimming. All right, that's great. So just before we go quickly, what's happening in 2020?
2020. Well, I'm wearing all the interviews I do from now on. I'm wearing sunglasses like Kerry King from Slayer. I've decided, if Slayer's retiring, that someone's got to take over the persona within the heavy metal world. The guy hasn't done an interview without sunglasses on for about 20 years. It's almost like I'd like to. There should be competition to get him to take them off or something, or maybe he takes them off and he hasn't got eyes. Who knows what the fuck's happened to him? I'm not getting that involved in it. I'm just ranting on about bullshit. I'm going to the UK to do a tour, actually, which is what's more important than me pretending to be Kerry King. But
and when is that? Which, like, next week?
February. Starting with 3 months of club gigs.
Cool.
And then going into a 2-month tour. England, if you see this, come to the Are You Serious tour starting in May 6th, I think.
And you've
it's been years since I've been in the UK, and
how many years?
6 years. So
cool.
It's going to be the best because England's where I became a good comedian. So I love England. So
you're going back to your second home.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to deal with the absolute lack of fucking customer service and sandwiches that, because they're like a 12-year-old made them with a crayon, but you got to give up a few things to get other things, so that's the deal.
Yeah, well, as you said before, the English aren't great with food, so
no, they don't give up.
But they've got a lot of other good things going for them.
They gave you Pink Floyd, so you have to deal with the baked beans and fish finger sandwiches. So.
Yeah, my wife's German, and I mean, Germans make okay food, but I do diss it a little bit.
Sometimes it's a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit meaty. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my first choice. I don't go, let's go for German tonight.
No. Who does?
Haven't said that for a while.
No.
Yeah.
Bring home delivery German.
Yeah. Uber German.
Some German food though I'd get into, I know it.
Yeah, stewed meats.
Yeah, big pig stuff I'd get into.
Fat sausages.
Yeah.
Okay, so awesome. So stay tuned. Also, just one other thing, you've got your YouTube channel as well.
YouTube channel.
It's been going well.
It's been going well. Sort of still a bit. We're still kicking it around, but it started, Well, it's and now we'll be bringing music into the YouTube channel soon.
Awesome. Yeah, you got your new clip coming out, which is good. Stay tuned to that on his YouTube channel, I guess.
Yeah. Archiving music from the past and turning it into clips. So it's a very cool, creative project, which I'm getting right into, actually.
And are you going to the States? Are we going to see you in the States?
Maybe. If they let me in. So I used to be an international drug lord back in the 80s, and I'm very well known within the CIA documentation. So I've got to really make sure I've got a fake pair of glasses and moustache and nose that I sometimes wear when I have to go through LAX, and they go, "Are you really Captain McFungle?" And I go, "Oh, I certainly am. I'm here to do a Chiltern show around about what it's like to be in the circus."
And you got it on at the moment.
Yeah.
Aren't you somebody else, not really Steve?
Yeah,
just
that's
pretending
it.
to be Steve?
I'm not even. My name's Craig Howarth. And
Craig.
I think that's actually a guy. That name is.
All right, cool. Well, thanks very much for coming, and that was awesome. Thanks. I love to love to learn about Steve.
I hope it was
interesting.
awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome.
Or did we rabbit onto him? See, I tend to rabbit.
No, that's what we want to hear. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more, and thanks again for watching. Peace.
Peace.